Start your week with a triple shot of good vibes. This is the Project Joy podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. Thanks for joining me. Good Monday morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Thanks for being here for another episode of Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I'm thrilled that you're here today. My morning came too quick today. For me, it's a little bit of a rough night. It was a full blue moon yesterday. For anyone that it actually peaked, I think at around 7 a.m. yesterday morning Central Time. So depending on where you are in the world, that would have been different for you. But it's always fun to play with sleep around this time. Either I sleep super hard or have a hard time sleeping. So let me know how you slept the last couple of nights and how that worked out for you. I want to say good morning to the first one that was here this morning. Stuart Holloway is joining us. Thanks for being here, my friend. It's good to see you. Also, my buddy from my college days, Frank Daniels, here this morning. Good morning, Frank. Good to see you. Please use the comment section if you are here live and say good morning. Mr. Jackson is here. I'm not going to sing it this morning because I'm tired, but I tried to be a little. Somebody pointed out the other day that I can be very sing-songy when I talk at times. So that should make up for that. I'm not going to actually sing at the moment. But good to see you. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm tired. It would scare everyone and you all would leave. Good to see. Oh, I see Chris here. Chris, I got to respond to you on community as well. It's good to see you. Thank you for subscribing on community and thank you for being here this morning. Also, anybody that's like community, what's that? You can go to subscribe to the Breakthrough Show on our text platform. And listen, here's the thing, you guys. You're actually talking to me when you message that, which is why sometimes it takes a minute for me to get back to you. I have a couple bots on there, but for the most part, it's me that you're talking to when you respond. I see every single message, and you can join our text community by texting the word breakthrough to 256-685-7092. That's 256-685-7092. And it's scrolling along the bottom of the screen for all of you watching right now. Also, I'm excited this morning because this is our first time broadcasting on Twitch today as well. So we've added yet another platform that we can find all of you amazing people for the show. And I'm really excited about that. So welcome to everybody from Twitch. And of course, our usual platforms, Facebook, YouTube, our website, and of course, our partners over at E360 TV. Make sure you download the E360 TV app so that you can watch lots of amazing programming, not just Project Joy and the Breakthrough Show. I want to say good morning to my dad today. Good morning, Greg. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And Greg slept well, so the apple fell a different side of the tree with that. Thank you for understanding, Mr. Jackson. So what's bringing me joy today? I had an amazing experience Saturday that I want to share about. So many of you guys know that we have an amazing event coming up in December. And it's called a musical evening of giving. And you'll see a little spot for that coming up in a little bit here on the show. But it's benefiting two amazing organizations, the Overcoming Odds Foundation and also the Weiss Scholarship Foundation. And Overcoming Odds is run by my friend Oleg Lohid. And I also have two very good friends who are on the board of Overcoming Odds. So Scott Mason and Casey Berman. And you might recognize Casey Berman's name. He was on the Breakthrough Show a couple weeks ago as a guest, but Oleg and Scott were both guests on season 4 of the Breakthrough Show as well. And I do a Saturday morning coffee. I've been doing a Soul Saturday morning coffee since 2015, actually, that we meet every Saturday morning and have great conversation. Well, I found out when I met Oleg that he does something very similar. And it's run a little bit differently, but similar premise of coming together and talking about different topics. And I don't always get to attend because sometimes sometimes we can be a little long-winded in Soul Saturday Morning Coffee, because it's right after his Zoom is right after mine. But I had the opportunity to go this week, and it's always such amazing conversation, and just super like-minded people. And I say like-minded in being, not that we're all the same, but like-minded in how we communicate, and being very open-minded to each other in our journeys. And at the end this week, he did something really amazing. Oleg said, well, we're going to do something different today, and we're going to go around and we're going to share something that we enjoy or appreciate about each other. And I was a little bit like on edge for a minute because of the fact that, hey, Miss Jewel, good to see you this morning. So I was a little bit taken back for a minute because I thought to myself, I'm not sure how much fun this is going to be, because of the fact that I know Oleg and I know Scott, but I didn't know a lot of the other people on the call. I remembered two of them from a previous call that I'd been on, but we don't know each other very well. And so I'm like, well, this is going to be fun. How are we all going to find something to be appreciative for, or say that we enjoy about each other? But it happened so effortlessly that all of us in just the hour that we had shared together, this space, that we had found something amazing to share about each other. And it was such a beautiful experience. And so they come to me, and I think a lot of us, there are many people who are, okay, let me backtrack. There are many people who are like, yay, talk about me. I'm not one of those people. And I know that there are others out there like me as well that were kind of like, oh God, here we go. But I just sat there sobbing like a baby, because they had such beautiful and kind and amazing things to say. And one of the most amazing things about this experience is that my daughter had come in the room while I was on this call. Her bunny lives in my office here, and that's why sometimes you'll see me looking over here. She's so adorable. But my daughter comes in to feed her bunny at some point, and so she had overheard a lot of the conversation. And when she left the room, she texted me and she said, "We need more people in the world like that." And I just thought, I agree. Like, I can't disagree with that. But it was the most beautiful experience to unexpectedly hear what people appreciate about you, what they love about you, what you do well. Because I think so often we can beat ourselves up and we can feel like, am I doing anything? Am I doing something that really matters? And for those of us who are in this mindset or energetic space of wanting to change the world, when we can hear that we are in fact doing that and we are doing a great job, even if it's just to one person, it can mean the world. It can mean the world. So it was just a beautiful experience, and I'm still sort of riding on that. It felt so good to be surrounded by such amazing people, and it brought me a lot of joy, and it's been enough to just sustain, if I can get that word out today, sustain me over the last few days. It's been a beautiful experience. So I just wanted to share about that as some of my joy. It's also my joy that it's Monday and my husband is off work today. It's been so nice having him home 2 days in a row lately, because that's his new work schedule, and that's never happened in the history of his work. So it's been really nice to have him home a couple days. So nice with that. Miss Jewel, I love you so much. Listen, she lost counting the ways. It's good to see you here, and good. Oh, I lost my comments. There they are. And good morning, Miss Judith. It's good to see you this morning. I want to remind you that for the next segment, we're going to be diving into our final topic It is our final week of the 8 Factors of Happiness from Duke University. And you can also chime in during the next segment. All you have to do is go to projectjoypodcast.com and click the join live button. You just scroll down a little bit past my face and there's a button right there, and you just click the join live button and you can come on air and share a moment of joy or gratitude. Projectjoypodcast.com and do that. And I would love to see your smiling face here and share something that's bringing you joy or gratitude this morning as we dive in more to the Duke University study. It's the final one. And stay tuned, you guys, because once we're finished with that, we are going to take a vote on what our next topic is going to be. I have 2 amazing ones for you to choose from. And we're going to be right back after a quick look at our event that's coming up in December. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned, you guys. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you that tickets are on sale now and they're on early bird pricing for a musical evening of giving coming up on December 4th. There are several levels of tickets. You can get regular tickets. If you want to support the organization, but you can't be there on the 4th, you can buy a VIP ticket, and that will get you the recording of the event so you can enjoy in both audio and video, by the way. So you can listen in the car, and that would be amazing as well. To all these amazing artists. We also have some new artists that aren't even listed in that ad yet. So please go to amusicaleveningofgiving.com. And be sure to check out all of the amazing artists. I think we've got like 1 spot left that we haven't announced yet, or 2 maybe, that we haven't announced yet for this event. And we're so excited, so excited. It is 100% of the proceeds, you guys. I'm not pocketing anything. The Breakthrough Show Network is not pocketing anything. 100% of the proceeds are going to Overcoming Odds and the White Scholarship Foundation, split completely evenly between them. And we're super excited about this event. So please make sure that you visit us and get your early bird tickets while they're on sale until about another week. And then they're going up to regular price September 2nd. So go and get your tickets. Good morning, Miss Crystal. It's good to see you this morning. And everybody else who's joining us as well. So make sure you guys check that out. We're going to dive into our last week of the Duke University study. So we've been talking about the 8 factors of happiness, the last 8 weeks, or the last 8 episodes we've been talking about. Duke University did a study on happiness, and I really thought that this was going to be a fun thing to do because of the fact that we see so many studies out, especially right now with everything going on in the world, and they're not always the happiest of studies. And I thought, what better than a study on actual happiness? And we've had a good time, I think, going through all of these 8 factors. I'm going to quickly review the 7 that we've done so far, and then we're going to finish up with number 8 today. And I'm also going to get your thoughts on anything that you would add to this, and or any thoughts that you have, as well as voting on our next topic. I also want to remind you to comment below what is bringing you joy today, because that's a lot of what this segment is about as well. And also reminder, you can go to projectjoypodcast.com and click the join live button and share what is bringing you joy or gratitude today as well. So number one on the study of happiness was lack of suspicion and resentment. Duke University said that nursing a grudge was a major factor in unhappiness. Number two was not living in the past. They said that a preoccupation with past mistakes and failures lead to depression. Number three was not wasting time and energy fighting things you cannot change. They suggest that you cooperate with life, roll with the punches, so to speak. Number four was to stay involved with the living world, to resist withdrawal and become reclusive during stress is not, when we go behind the scenes and we start connecting with people, then we have some challenges there to face, and it reduces our happiness quite a bit. Number five was to refuse to indulge in self-pity. And one of the things we paid attention to with this one is to pay attention to our language, saying things like, no one gets through life without some sorrow and misfortune. So we definitely need to pay attention to that. Number six was to cultivate old-fashioned virtues. I loved this one a lot. Cultivate virtues in yourself and I think even to appreciate these virtues in others brings happiness as well. Love, compassion, honor, and loyalty are some of the ones that they mentioned. Number seven was last week, and it was a behind kicking for the majority of us. Don't expect too much from yourself. Duke University says the gap between expectation and ability equals a feeling of inadequacy. And I think I loved what we talked about last week of, this doesn't mean don't try. This doesn't mean fall over. It doesn't mean expect that you can do big things. It kind of, we discussed, Dory and I, because it was Dory's birthday last week, we discussed jumping in and, trying and making an effort. But in the end, if it doesn't turn out the way you have expected it to, or the way you envisioned, to offer yourself some grace and to not lean into that expectation. So that was an amazing one as well. Let me know what you guys thought about those, and any thoughts that you have about those as well. Thank you for sharing, Princess Jewel. I appreciate you. And also, Judith is also enjoying the love, compassion, loyalty, all of those things that are those old-fashioned virtues and qualities. And I wish they weren't old-fashioned, I wish they were these are just the way they are, And then Crystal is saying, I love the returning to old-fashioned family values. I love that as well. So number 8 today, guys, we're leaning in. This is the last one. Are you ready? Let me know if you're ready in the comment section. For those of you that are on a place where you can comment, so Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, let me know if you are ready for number 8. Drum roll, please. Here we go. Number 8 is find something bigger than yourself to believe in. Find something bigger than yourself to believe in. Now, the wording that they used in this study were a little bit harsh, but I'm going to read them anyway. So here we go. Self-centered, egotistical people score the lowest in any test they gave measuring happiness. Self-centered, egotistical people score lowest in any test measuring happiness. Now, listen, we've talked about being self-centered. We talk about that a lot, actually, in the personal and spiritual development world. We talk about being self-care in particular of, is that a selfish thing? And we know that it's not. We know that we need to fill our own cups. We know that that's how we ultimately help the world and take care of other people, is when we take care of ourselves first. And so we get that. And I don't believe that that's what they're talking about. So I think sometimes we can hear this self-centered word and think, well, self-care is not selfish. We know this, but I don't think that's what they're talking about. I think for me, and I would love to hear y'all's perspective on this, is that for me, believing that something, God, the universe, fairies, magic, whatever, something is orchestrating or helping to guide our lives here on this planet is something that brings an immense amount of peace to my life. And I think there are times when we can find difficulty in that as well, because if we believe in a power larger than ourselves, then we can look at the bad things or the challenging things happening in the world, and we can say, well, why? Why would, if something is ultimately in charge of all of this, why would they allow this to happen? But I think, even if you want to get religious for a minute, the Bible says that we had free will as well, that it wasn't just like, made the world and then and it's that way, that there's choice involved. And that's something that we talk about so often on this show, is the power of choice. And even some of these topics that we've talked about throughout the weeks, like for example, number 3, which was not wasting time and energy fighting things you cannot change. One of the things that I brought up about that specific topic was that a lot of times, to question that for just a minute, because a lot of times we have more power and more control than we realize in the moment. And so it's, again, with that one, it wasn't like, we're not supposed, I don't think that was intended for us to go into a challenging situation and saying, oh, well, automatically we don't have control over this, so we're just going to not do anything. But to try and ultimately realize that sometimes shit doesn't go our way, right? Sometimes, things go different than, again, playing into the one from last week, than we expect. And so this whole idea of, I'm curious to know, for all of you guys, do you believe that believing in something bigger than yourself, and again, I'm not talking doctrine here, anything that you believe in, be it God, the universe, fairy, whatever you want to believe in, even I will add this in here because this was something that I talked about with my Soul Saturday Morning Coffee group yesterday. Even if you simply believe in your higher self, in something bigger than yourself, within yourself. So whatever it is that you believe in, I would like to know if you believe that has tied into happiness in your life or joy. I remember, and it's going to kind of tie into my next question as well, because one of the things that I want to ask you guys moving forward is if there's anything that you would add, that you personally would add as a factor of happiness into any of these 8 things, or as a number 9, 10, 11, what have you. I remember, so I'll start this by saying that the one thing that we talked about in Soul Saturday Morning Coffee Saturday is that relationships were something that we thought we could add. Now, this might tie into number 4, which is stay involved with the living world. But our objection to that was that staying involved and being in the living world is different than actually cultivating and nurturing relationships. So I'm curious if you think that you would add that. But I say this to tie into number 8, finding something bigger than yourself to believe in. When I would go to church, I grew up in the Catholic church, and then I went to different types of churches since moving down south. And when I would go to church, it was less about being in that building and being surrounded by other church members, was less about actually Yes, there's a connection to God there, but it was more of a focus at times on the relationships with the people in the church. And I think that where I started to struggle with the church was because of because of that focus. Because to me, it's like the church was supposed to be about worship. And when so much is put on the politics of the church and what people are doing within the church and all of that, we kind of, when the humans within the church let us down, it can be difficult to focus on what I thought was the purpose of being at a church. But when I think about that, I think about the relationships, the relationship factors of the church, and how important it has been throughout the years for me to have relationships and nurture relationships. And tying this back to what I talked about at the very beginning of the show today, about my joy, which was attending Overcoming Odds Zoom call this past Saturday. One of the things that was a theme that I heard from other people was that felt amazing because of how important relationships are to me, is my ability to connect people and also to nurture relationships because they said that I genuinely care. And I think back to times when I maybe didn't follow through. Or I think about times when I forgot to send a message or didn't send something in the mail when I was supposed to, or promised something and didn't deliver. And anytime those things happened, it would literally, it would eat me alive to more than I can even express, because of the fact that I care so deeply. And so when my beautiful friend Heather brought up this idea about adding a number 10 or number 9 to this list of cultivating and nurturing relationships, I really think that it's something that could be considered as a factor of happiness, because I believe that we are put on this planet to have relationships, or if you believe in reincarnation, or if you believe in divine timing or anything like that, that being in this life, part of that is meeting other people and nurturing those relationships. And so I do think that would be one that we could add, that doesn't necessarily fit in some of these other categories. So I would love to know if you guys would add anything to any of this as a factor of happiness. And don't forget to use the comment section and share what's bringing you joy today so that we can celebrate that together this morning. Good morning, Miss Ford. It is beautiful to see you today. Great morning and happy Monday to you, my friend. So it's been a lot of fun, I think, to go through these different things. And it's really opened my mind to, is there anything else that we can add to this list? Because some of the other things that we've talked about, I've talked about with other people, it sounds like, oh, yes, that'd be a great thing to add, but they really do fit into some of these other things. So I think Duke University overall did a great job of compiling these 8 different points as well. Oh, I love this. Mr. Jackson says, being in a relationship should add to your happiness, not being a complete source of this. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I do think, though, that part of that, when we're looking at our happiness in a relationship, when someone in our relationship hurts us, or we feel hurt by something that someone else does, we can absolutely feel less than happy in the moment. Would you agree? Raise your hand. We can feel less than happy in the moment, but I think it's our ability to not dwell in that, not lean into that as our only, like, now my life is over sort of thing. But also, I think it's so important to acknowledge, and I think this is why I would want to add cultivating and nurturing relationships to this list, is because when something like that happens with someone that we deeply care about, we feel that. And so I feel like if it didn't matter, if it wasn't a source of happiness, then it would be, then there wouldn't be a reason. There just wouldn't be a reason. So I think it's a great point you bring up, Donnell, about being the only source of happiness. And I can definitely see that with the rest of these as well. I think a lot of these we need to be using together as a group. And we can't just, cultivate an old-fashioned virtue and then that's the only thing that brings us happiness, or we can't just live in the present and that's the only thing that brings us happiness, or staying involved with the living world is certainly not the only thing that can bring us happiness, because we can't control other people, my friends. We can't. So I appreciate you bringing that up, Mr. Jackson, because of the fact that none of these things, and even adding in relationships, should be the complete source of our happiness. That ultimately, I think from this list, we know that happiness needs to come from within, that we need to decide that despite circumstances, that despite choices that we make, that despite maybe not leaning into any of these 8 things, that we are going to choose to be happy. And that in itself can bring joy, which is what we talk about here this morning. All right. So listen, you guys, coming up for the next few weeks, I want to pick our next topic. I need everybody that is online right now, watching live, or if you're watching on the replay on Facebook or YouTube, please feel free to comment down below and let us know your vote. So we're going to vote for or you can put A or mindfulness, 5 simple mindfulness practices for daily life. Now, when we're talking about mindfulness on this show, we talk a lot about being present and in the moment, and that these are going to help us with that. So being present and in the moment, how that can help our joy or increase the joy in our lives. So that's your A vote, mindfulness. Or B, 10 ways to bring play into your daily life. That's going to be a super fun one as well, because I think as adults, oftentimes we downplay play. We don't make time for play. We think that that's child's play. So you have A, mindfulness, or you can put B, play, and take a vote. And that's going to be the direction that we go starting next week as well. So I want you to vote down below and share your thoughts with that. Lynn is here this morning. Good morning, Miss Lynn. It's good to see you. And Thomas, if you are watching, and James, if he's watching too, but we love Thomas. Good to see you here this morning, my friend. Lynn is voting for A. That's what she's picking, 5 simple mindfulness practices for daily life. And Judith is coming in with a B. B for sure. Already do lots of mindfulness, which is very important too. Either way, we're going to cover both of these, but I want to know from you what you most want to do next, to be our topic next. And of course, along with this, every single week, you can go to projectjoypodcast.com, click the join live button, and share joy or gratitude live on the air. I think I want to make a little note about that while you guys are voting. I want to see lots more votes coming in here, you guys. A or B, which direction do you want to go? But this whole idea of calling in to share a moment of joy or gratitude. So of course, the show is called Project Joy, and I want you to be able to feel free to click in and share something that's bringing you joy today, because I think it expands our joy meter, so to speak. There might be something bringing someone else joy that you didn't even think about today. Someone might say, you might be feeling down in the dumps, and someone might say, the flowers outside my window are bringing me joy. And you might look out the window and go, I have flowers outside my window too. And so that has the potential to bring me joy as well if I want to lean into that. And so that's the beautiful thing about joy. But this gratitude portion, I want to lean into that a little bit. I'm using this lean in phrase a lot this morning. My apologies. But I want to lean into that a little bit because the experience that I had with the Overcoming Odds group on Saturday, while I was, had to work with myself to be on the receiving end of the amazing things that they were saying, it felt so good. It felt so good for people to say as publicly as possible in a group setting, hey, you're doing something amazing. You are loved. You are appreciated. You are wanted and needed in this world. There's something that feels so good about that. And so I would love for you guys, when you click in, to not just share, you can share joy, of course, because that's what this show is about, but maybe choose somebody that you can call out this morning or every morning. Every single Monday, click in and publicly declare what someone means in your life. And I think part of this for me is coming from the place of how much grief I've been through in my own life, and how how sometimes death can go too soon. Or come too soon, and it's unexpected at times. And sometimes people pass and we think, I wish I would have said, I wish I would have known. And prime example of this. So there was someone that passed at an old church I had gone to. There was someone that passed away there. And when they passed away, social media flooded with how amazing this person was, how much work they had done at the church. And I had been to the church for a couple of years when this person passed away. Now, it was a larger church, but not huge. I knew or had at least heard of the vast majority of the people that went to the church, but I had never even heard this person's name. And I felt so sad in that moment, because my thought was, what if while she was alive that people proclaimed how amazing she was while she was here, and more people got to know her, and more people could have been touched and affected positively by her life here on this earth instead of waiting until she went. And it's one of those things that it really struck me, because we say all the time, we never know when our time is. We should always be grateful. We should always express ourselves, tell people we're thankful, tell people we love them. But this really struck me because she had attended the church even longer than I had. And I never even knew what her name was, never even had heard her name. And imagine the difference if people would have proclaimed their thankfulness, their gratitude, their love for this person bigger and more verbally while she was here. And so I would love for you guys, of course, come on projectjoypodcast.com. When I go live on Monday mornings, click that join live button, and don't just share joy, but choose a person you can be grateful for and outwardly express that. And you don't have to go crazy if the person doesn't particularly enjoy being called out or what have you, but saying, hey, Lynn, I just want you to know that I appreciate you. Judith, I want you to know that I love you today. Mr. Jackson, you and Miss Jackson are couple goals, and I want to be more like you. Miss Ford, you're always so beautifully spoken, and I just want to tell you thank you for that, because your words always touch my soul. Chris, I want to, you're an amazing person, and you're so incredibly supportive of me and my work. And I just want to say thank you for that. And Crystal, you're always on the road to guiding amazing people in their spiritual development. And I just want to say how amazing you are. And Princess Jewel, You are insanely crazy, and I love you so much. And I just want to thank you for being a part of this world and being so supportive of my work as well. And Frank, I want to thank you for not coming on and sharing college memories with all of my audience. No, I mean you were a source of comfort when we were in college, and I want to thank you for that. And Stuart, you're always so supportive of everybody. But you see how good this feels? And it's contagious, you guys. It's contagious. And it feels amazing on my part. My heart is overflowing just by saying these different things. And Delight Digital Cafe, you crazy too, but you're here, and thank you. It's, just take advantage of the opportunity to share your joy and share your gratitude. Mr. Jackson voted. Oh, I think that's a B. I think that's a B emoji. Mr. Jackson, you'll have to tell me if that's a B emoji. So I think he's voting B. So we have one vote for A. It's scrolling down the bottom there, you guys, of what our next topic is going to be coming up next week. Lynn voted for A. Judith and Mr. Jackson, I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, voted for B. So we have 2 votes for B so far. If you want to see A win, 5 simple mindfulness practices for daily life, vote for A. If you want to see B win, 10 ways to bring play into your daily life, let me know. Let me know in the comments, because I'm taking the highest vote. By the end of the day today, that's the direction we're going to go. So make sure you vote for your favorite. Lynn says, Thomas is playing in his room, been up since 4 a.m. Sleep is overrated. Sometimes it is, and it sounds like Thomas has enjoyed the full moon as much as I have. So anyway, I really enjoyed going over these 8 factors of happiness with you guys over the last 8 episodes. I really think that so many of these are can play into our daily life, and things that we can really take to heart. If we truly say that we want to experience more happiness or joy in our lives, then these are actionable things that we can do and pay attention to. And it's a lot of fun, I think, to expand our mind and to explore all the things and bring more joy into our lives on purpose. All right. So continue to chime in, you guys. Vote down below. A for mindfulness, B for play. And we are going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back to finish up Project Joy Live. Stay tuned, you guys.
Hi, my name is Brandon. And over the past year, the Delight Cafe team and I have traveled across the U.S. researching this rapidly growing industry of CBD products. What we have found throughout the industry were products that were inconsistent in dosage and used ingredients that weren't even lab tested. Products with chalky textures, bitter aftertaste, and worst of all, confusion among the CBD consumers. That's why we created Delight Cafe. A 15 milligram, lab tested, all natural, water soluble hemp CBD powder pack. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. Add it to your favorite drink of choice, wherever, whenever, on the go. Quickly find your calm, your balance, and your delight when you need it most.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to visit our friends at delightcafe.com for this amazing product. We have it in our house, and it's amazing. And one of our sons in particular is really helping with his sleep, and we appreciate that, taking one of those little packets at night. And it's nice because colorless, odorless, tasteless. You don't have to worry about what's in it. You can add it to whatever you want that you're already drinking anyway, because you're supposed to be drinking more water, my friends. That is your daily reminder, your weekly reminder to drink more water, everybody. I am so excited about some of the things coming up on the Breakthrough Show Network. So I want to share a little bit about that today. But first, I want to recognize, thank you so much, Lynn. Lynn says that she's grateful for having me in her life and keeping her grounded. I love you too, my friend. Thank you so much for that. So coming up on the Breakthrough Show Network this week, later on today, we have something I can't find. Here we go. Later on today, we have Rewriting Reality with Shiraz. Typically, it's the last Monday of the month, but Shiraz is kept extra busy this month. So he's doing it a week early today at 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern on the Breakthrough Show Network Facebook page. Find it at facebook.com/The Breakthrough Show Network. Rewriting Reality. Call into Shiraz or click into Shiraz and you can shift your beliefs live on air. And sometimes he has amazing interviews as well. So be sure to tune into that today at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. Today, if you're watching this on the replay, just so you know, this is August 23rd. So if you're watching it another day, you're not going to find him there, but you can find the replay for sure. You can also go to thebreakthroughshow.com and click network at the top, and you will find all of the amazing shows that are here on the network. Also coming up later this week, I will be on Java Delight on Thursday. Java Delight is Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Time or 10 to 12 Eastern Time. And you guys can tune into that because it's amazing. And I'm on there on Thursdays. So be sure to at minimum, tune in on Thursdays to hear about some breakthroughs of the week. Also coming up on Friday this week, we have season 5, episode 29 of The Breakthrough Show featuring Jamie Hearn and Karen Vincent. 2 amazing interviews. Typically, we have the show segmented out with some hot topics and all of that, but you're just going to get 2 amazing interviews this week. So I'm super excited about that because they are some amazing people to watch in the world, you guys, and doing specifically amazing work with women. So be sure, if you are a lady and you want to learn more about that, be sure to tune in on Friday. It is a B. It's hard to see because StreamYard does some of these emojis on StreamYard look horrid. It makes me wonder what in the world they are. So I'm glad it's a B. So right now, B is winning. We had I'm trying to find it now. Here we go. The votes for our topic coming up next: 5 simple mindfulness practices for daily life. That's your A vote. B is 10 ways to bring play into your daily life. Make sure you are voting, you guys. Super important because it's going to dictate which direction we're going to go starting next week. So right now, play is winning. So make sure you get that in the comments below. I think that's about it. The only other thing that I wanted to share with you guys today is to make sure that you go to amusicaleveningofgiving.com. On December 4th, 2021, we are having a virtual benefit concert. 100% of the proceeds are going to be split evenly between Overcoming Odds, which you can find at overcomingodds.today. And also the Weiss Scholarship Foundation, which is I believe it's weissscholarshipfoundation.org. But I will get a banner made for you guys next week for that so that you can look up information if you want. But we have amazing artists on here, you guys. We have Olivia Ambani, Kevin Kiley, Rory Kelly, Abby Miracle, Lisa Pinnock, the Ted Yoder Band. And we've got some new ones signing on now. We have Greg Lennon, we have Aaron Hill, and I'm meeting with more people this week. So we're going to have one amazing lineup. I'm going to put the link down here right now for you guys. If I can type fast enough. If I can type and talk at the same time, that's the miracle. Go to musicaleveningofgiving.com and be sure to get your early bird tickets while they are on sale now. I'm at that early bird price because it's going to go up. It's going to go up starting on September 2nd. So make sure that you get your tickets for that. I am super excited to be hosting that amazing event. I want to thank you all for watching or listening wherever you are in the world today. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I will see you next week, Same time, same place, every Monday, 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Central Time for more Project Joy Live. And I want to remind you that every single day is a great day to find joy in your life. And I will see you next time, everybody. Bye.
You've been listening to the Project Joy podcast with your host, Jessica Dugas. We'll see you again next Monday and every Monday for another episode to start your week off right.